Hi everyone, this is Nardine and Vitali from Happy Couples, and we are bringing you Relationship Minutes.
And on this topic, we want to talk to you about 5 things that you should never say to your spouse.
So the first statement is, that's just who I am. And have you ever found yourself in a situation where you are in a disagreement and your spouse says, well, you know what, that's just who I am. I'm not going to change. And what that does, it tells your spouse that you don't care enough to compromise, that you're not willing to change certain things in a relationship. And that can be detrimental.
So the second topic we want to mention here is you should never feel hurt or you are overreacting.
No. So when I hear that, it says that my feelings are not valid, and I don't feel like I'm being hurt if somebody were to say I'm overreacting. And lots of times, I think that us women, we might hear that more often. So guys, don't tell your spouse they're overreacting.
Number 3, never use words always and never. Because when you use those words, you're kind of speaking in absolutes. And that kind of sometimes implies that your spouse is never doing this and never doing that. When you say those things, it almost feels like you're trying to vent because you're trying to express how you're feeling. But in reality, is it true that your spouse never does this or always does that?
Yes. And the other thing it does is that it's a character assassination on the person, where you're telling them, well, you're never that. And it creates more and more of a emotional distance between you when that person is feeling attacked, as opposed to addressing the situation in a way that is positive. And the fourth statement you should never say is, I told you so.
I told you so. That is another good one, because when you say, I told you so, this implies that you want your spouse to fail, and you want spouse to learn from that mistake, as opposed to maybe being a little bit sympathetic, because men and women, they always make mistakes, especially in a marriage. And when you say, I told you so, maybe you're paying the bills, maybe you're picking up your kids from the daycare, and you were late because you were running late, you didn't plan time in advance, and you say, I told you so, not a good statement to make.
Yes. And nobody likes to feel dumb. And when you say that, you're part of me feel dumb, and you're putting yourself in a place where you pretty much saying that I'm smarter than you because I would have done this differently and it would have turned out right.
And the last one that we guys want to share with you is never use the D word, the divorce, because when you use those statements in your conversations, in your fights, when feelings are high, flying high, and you're feeling very or maybe a little too much excited and you just want to hurt your spouse, you're being like a gorilla and you say, I am going to divorce you, or this conversation is going to lead to divorce, and especially when the kids are hearing, not a good time to say this kind of things. If you're feeling that way, you might want to speak to someone who may be able to understand you, but don't say those things out loud, never.
Yes. So it creates this place where you feel unsafe in the relationship at this point, because you're thinking, okay, is my spouse gonna leave at some point? You question their commitment to the relationship, and it feels as if they have one foot out the door, and it's a short way to really head to divorce if that's the way you're speaking, if you are actually bringing that up. So yes, again, don't use the D word as a threat.
And just to recap, all those 5 things that you should never say to your spouse. Number 1, that's just who I am.
Number 2, you shouldn't feel hurt. You are overreacting.
Number 3, always and never. Try not to speak in absolutes.
4, I told you so.
And never use the D word. It's gonna hurt your relationship. So,
all right, and that's all we have for you today. And come back next time for Relationship Minutes.
see you guys next time.
Bye.